Max is asleep, but his mother calls him to school, so he wakes up. Before getting out of bed, Max asks the same question he asks every day. Max asks his mother when they are going to get a dog. His mother immediately cuts it off and doesn't want to discuss it further. She says that until Max can clean his room, he's not fit to be responsible for a dog. Max's day doesn't start well, and it starts off badly. When he gets to school, things take a turn for the worse. As Max walks to his seat, a boy named Dan pushes him down. Dan is the mischievous and lazy boy in the class. Dan loves to tease Max, and Max is forced to endure it. Meanwhile, in a modern laboratory far away, a scientist named Alex and his partner, Ska, are demonstrating their new invention to the audience. Their invention is unique. It's nothing ordinary. It's a tiny robot equipped with a highly intelligent artificial intelligence. This nano-robot can connect to computers, control entire systems, and assist people with a variety of tasks. Their presentation is successful, and the lab receives additional funding to further the project. This is where the story's danger begins. Information about this powerful robot reaches a high-profile criminal named Myron, the leader of a large criminal gang. When Myron learns that this robot can hack bank accounts and control the stock market, he sees only power and control. Myron immediately orders his special agent, Gecko, to steal the robot. For him, this robot is more than just a machine. Myron thinks he can control many things in the world with it. At school, Max lives in his own little world, engrossed in his work. He watches Sonia, a girl from his class, practicing for the school play. Max really likes Sonia. When Sonia performs on stage, Max quietly begins drawing her picture in his notebook. Suddenly, Dan and his friends emerge from a small door under the stage and call Max to them. As Max approaches them, they grab him and take him under the stage. When Dan sees Max drawing a picture of his girlfriend Sonia, he becomes very angry. Dan decides to punish Max. Dan and his friends put a firecracker in Max's hand and quickly run down to the basement. After a while, the firecracker explodes, making a small sound. Hearing the sound, the teacher quickly comes to see what has happened. When the teacher opens the small door, as Max slowly emerges from under the stage, the teacher assumes Max set off the firecracker. Without listening to Max, the teacher sends him to the principal. Just then, Sonia finds the photo that Dan had torn up and thrown away. When Max returns home, his mother scolds him again for not cleaning his room. As soon as his mother leaves, Max quietly leaves the house. Meanwhile, Gecko reaches the lab building where the nanorobots are housed. Using his special tools, Gecko climbs the wall and cuts a glass window to enter. Once inside, he cautiously walks across the rooftop like a professional spy. To avoid the security lasers, he deflects the laser light from his nameplate towards the cameras, allowing him to escape easily. He then slowly makes his way to the area where the nanorobots are kept. As Gecko inserts his decoder to unlock the system, a guard suddenly appears. He goes and almost catches him. Gecko quickly hides, but the machine suddenly opens with a loud noise. Hearing the machine's sound, the guard immediately looks in his direction. Gecko wastes no time and takes immediate action. Gecko suddenly jumps out, knocks down the guard, and picks up the cylinder containing the nanorobot. Gecko stops the guard, but cannot stop the alarm from going off. As soon as the alarm sounds, the entire building is locked down and security is increased. Security guards begin chasing Gecko. Gecko runs inside the lab and tries to evade the guards. At that moment, Max arrives under the bridge where he often spends his nights. Max listens to loud music with headphones and begins spray painting graffiti on the wall. Gecko tries to escape by crossing the bridge, but the security team surrounds him from all sides. For a moment, it seems that Gecko will be caught, but he moves quickly. He stuns one of the guards with a bright flashlight, and he tries to escape by fighting with the other guards. During the fight, someone pushes the cylinder, and it falls from his hand. The cylinder falls down from the bridge. Max, standing under the bridge, sees something lying on the ground. Max thinks that it is some special and new spray paint, so he picks it up. The spray can looks very different and strange, so Max is curious about it. Meanwhile, Gecko fights off the guards and escapes through the pipes. Max shakes the cylinder and begins spraying paint on the wall. The spray can is no ordinary paint. The machine automatically creates beautiful and intricate drawings. Max can't believe this is really happening. It seems the spray can already knows what it wants to paint on the wall. In a short while, a wonderful cartoon-like drawing of a dog appears on the wall. But the problem is, the spray can suddenly runs out. Max thinks the spray can is finished, so he throws it away and leaves. A short while later, Gecko arrives and picks up the cylinder. Before leaving, Gecko praises Max's painting on the wall. But then something very strange and surprising happens. As Max leaves, the cartoon dog on the wall starts moving. The dog emerges from the wall and returns to the real world. Nano-robots enter inside him, and they bring him back to life. The spray bottle contains nanorobots that transform graffiti into a realistic, high-tech, robotic dog. Elsewhere, a man named Gecko meets Myron and gives him the spray bottle. When Myron checks the bottle, he is shocked and confused. He discovers that all the nanorobots inside the bottle have disappeared. Meanwhile, Max is walking home, unaware that a robotic dog is secretly following him. On the way, the dog accidentally knocks over a trash can. It then quickly disappears to avoid being seen. Max hears the sound of the trash can falling and panics. He thinks someone is chasing him, so he runs away quickly. Later, the police arrive at the lab to investigate the theft. Alex wanders around the lab, trying to understand how someone stole his invention. His partner explains to him the guards tried to stop the thief, but he knocked everyone unconscious. Alex becomes furious upon hearing this. She declares that she knows the nano-robots she created best and will find them herself and bring them back. The next morning, Gecko goes to the same spot where the graffiti was made to look for Max. When he arrives, he notices something very strange. The drawing of the dog that Max made the previous night has completely disappeared from the wall. Another day, when Max is going to school, the robotic dog continues to secretly follow him. Suddenly, Dan and his friends arrive, throw Max's things down, and then leave. Angrily, Max starts picking up his belongings lying on the ground. Suddenly, something strange happens. His school bag lifts into the air on its own and falls directly on Dan's head. Seeing this, Dan and his friends, enraged, rush towards Max to attack him. Just then, his backpack comes alive and protects Max from their attacks. The backpack moves on its own, helping Max avoid every blow. The backpack then jumps off his back and begins fighting the boys on its own. With the backpack's help, Max finally takes revenge on them. Max picks up his backpack and leaves, and Sonia is both surprised and impressed by this. Meanwhile, Alex watches the camera recording in the lab and sees Gecko fighting the guards. She says that a man with such excellent fighting skills could work as her security consultant. She then builds a special machine that can send out waves that temporarily disable her nano-robots, allowing her to retrieve them. Elsewhere, Max goes to a bookstore, still unaware that an invisible robotic dog is following him. He begins to browse the items in the store, but quickly remembers that he doesn't have the money to buy anything. As he sadly begins to put his things back, the shop owner asks him if he can pay for the items. But before the shopkeeper can reach him, a pack of balls suddenly falls from the shelf. It's the same invisible robotic dog causing trouble again. The shopkeeper slips and falls, causing his pants to slip in the process, so he has to bend down and pull them back up. This chaos gives Max a good opportunity to escape. All this strange activity alerts Alex's system to the possibility of nano-robots being active nearby. Alex immediately rushes to the shop and asks the shopkeeper for the security camera recording. When the shopkeeper refuses, Alex copies the footage himself, using his technology bracelet. A short while later, Max returns to the spot where he created the graffiti, only to discover that the dog's drawing has completely disappeared. Suddenly, the same robotic dog appears before him and begins speaking like a human. Seeing this, Max is terrified and falls to the ground. The dog scans him, then calms down and says, "There's something in his body. The adrenaline is too much, and he needs to take a deep breath and calm down." But Max is still scared, so he runs away. When he gets home, he lies down on his bed and begins to think about what just happened. Then, the robotic dog returns and explains everything to him. The dog explains that it is made of millions of tiny nano-robots and can do anything its creator commands. Max is confused. Max wonders why the robotic dog thinks Max is its creator. The dog explains that it was created the same time Max used that special spray cylinder on his graffiti. Max then realizes that the same dog helped him during a fight with Dan and his friends at school. Max scolds the dog and says that Dan will be even angrier now. To calm himself, Max sits down at the computer and sees an advertisement for a drawing competition in a big city. The winner of the competition will win a prize. He gets a chance to study at a prestigious illustration course. But Max feels he doesn't draw well enough, so he decides to participate in the competition. He decides not to take it. That evening, Alex is sitting in her car watching the security camera recordings when she receives another alert that her nano-robots have been activated somewhere in the city. At the same time, the robotic dog secretly scans all of Max's drawings. He then sends them to the contest website and registers them under Max's name. The next day, Gecko returns to the same graffitied area. He asks people about Max, but no one knows anything about him. This causes Gecko to slowly lose hope. After returning home, the dog tells Max that he can disguise himself by changing his appearance. Max is overjoyed and decides to take his new pet for a walk in the park. Before going to the park, Max warns the dog not to talk in front of people. So, the dog makes a wireless headset for Max so they can talk to each other without anyone knowing. He remains quiet so that no one will notice and they can talk comfortably. While walking in the park, they suddenly meet Sonia. Sonia smiles happily, caresses the dog, and asks its name. Max immediately reveals that the dog is his pet. Just then, Sonia's friends call out to her. Sonia tells Max that she is going to the arts festival with her friends and then leaves with them. As Sonia leaves, Fox notices that Max's heartbeat suddenly starts to beat differently. Fox asks Max if he likes Sonia and suggests that he should talk to her. Max says he can't do that because Sonia is already in a relationship with Dan, and Dan is the same boy who always bothers her. At that very moment, Alex arrives in her car. Alex is listening to their conversation with a special device. She prepares to send a signal that can shut down the nanobots. She overhears Fox's words before they can attack. She realizes something important. She no longer attacks them and decides to simply observe them. She wants to know what changes are taking place in the nanobots over time. Meanwhile, Gecko is constantly searching for Max but can't find him. So Mayan pressures Gecko even more to find Max. Later, Fox convinces Max to go to the festival. They don't know that Alex is secretly following them, closely watching their every move. At the festival, Fox spots Sonia among the crowd. Max sees Dane participating in a dance competition. Dane wins the competition, and Sonia cheers for him with joy and cheers. Seeing this, Max becomes sad and wants to leave. Fox stops him from going. After thinking for a while, Fox devises a plan that will draw Sonia's attention to Max and make Max seem cool to everyone. They go to a large warehouse nearby, where Fox uses his special nano powers to change Max's clothes and enhance his physical strength. He also increases his awareness. With new clothes and strength, Max runs to the wall and starts walking on it as if it were a normal thing. People watch in amazement, and Max begins painting a magnificent large picture with a spray can. Those watching are amazed and gather around to watch. When Max finishes painting, Sonia realizes that the picture was actually made for her. Shortly after, Gecko also arrives at the festival. Gecko, seeing Dan, shows him Max's ID and asks where to find Max. Dan, still angry with Max, gives Gecko important information about Max. Dan tells Gecko to deliver a message to Max if he meets him. Gecko, realizing that Dan's intentions are not good, says nothing and leaves. Sometime later, Sonia talks to Max and shows him a drawing she found earlier at the theater. Sonia asks Max if he drew it. Max, a little apprehensive and nervous, agrees. Sonia happily embraces Max. Arriving home at night, Max tells Fox to hide because his mother doesn't allow pets. Fox immediately agrees and disappears. Max, unaware that Alex and Gecko are watching him from outside. As he enters his room, he hears his parents arguing. He realizes that his parents are likely moving to another city soon. This angers Max. He angrily tells his parents that if they want to go, they can go without him. With that, he runs out of the house. His father tries to stop him, but Max keeps running. Meanwhile, Alex sees Gecko sneaking behind Max. Shortly after, Gecko discovers small pieces of nanobots left behind by Fox. When Max confronts his parents, he crosses the street to escape when suddenly, a terrible incident occurs. Before his father can catch him, a car hits him. Max stands in shock, his mother screaming for help in the middle of the road. Max is terrified and confused, unsure of what to do. At that moment, Alex sees that Fox was also witnessing the entire incident. Alex is surprised by this, as he believes the robotic dog could have prevented the accident. Later, Gecko goes to Myron and gives him the nanobot fragments he found. Myron is overjoyed because now they can try to create new nanobots by copying them from the fragments. Meanwhile, Max and his mother are waiting for news from the doctor in the hospital corridor. A short while later, the doctor arrives and informs him that Max's father has survived and will recover. However, he will have to remain in the hospital for a few days to fully recover. Max meets Max outside the hospital. She meets Fox again. Max becomes very angry and sad and asks Fox why he didn't save his father. Fox calms down and says that his work should only be given to Max. Fox says that since Max was running away from his family, he thought he didn't need to interfere. Hearing this, Max becomes even more angry. Angrily, Max declares that he no longer wants to be with Fox. Fox says nothing and quietly leaves. Elsewhere, Myron is pressuring the scientist he hired to rebuild the nanobots. When Gecko arrives, Mine gives him a new order. Mine tells Gecko to capture Max and bring him to him. Gecko tries to explain that Max doesn't know anything about Fox's true powers. Mine doesn't care. He still orders Gecko to do the same. To ensure Gecko obeys him, Mayan sends Igor to keep an eye on Gecko. Upon returning to the hospital, Max discovers that his father has regained consciousness. When Max talks to his father, his parents reveal that they have given up the idea of moving to another city. His father admits they should have consulted Max first. A while later, Fox is standing outside, remembering the good times he had with Max. It had happened to Max before. After a while, Max returns to her. Alex has been watching from a distance and is relieved when he sees Max and her together again. Max explains why he ran away and teaches Fox that saving human lives is most important. Just then, they see Sonia coming out of the hospital. Max quickly goes to Sonia, and she is overjoyed when she learns that her father is fine. Max asks about Dan, and Sonia reveals that they were never actually in a relationship. Sonia explains that it was just a lie Dan spread. Suddenly, a man parks his sports car in front of the hospital gate. Max stops him and says he can't park there, but the driver doesn't listen. Fox comes up with a plan to impress Sonia. The robot dog sneaks into the car and, using a small device in Max's ear, tells him to come inside with Sonia. Max is completely disbelieving, but he still follows his plan. A short while later, the car leaves the parking lot, and Gecko and Igor start chasing them. Seeing this, Alex decides to follow them from a distance. During the chase, Max's car falls into a ditch, splashing water onto people standing on the sidewalk, who turn out to be Dan and his friends. The chase continues, but Gecko and Igor start arguing, leaving Alex confused about what's happening. Alex scans their car's license plate and discovers that Igor is a major criminal wanted by Interpol. Alex now understands the situation is serious. Alex decides to stop them with her special gun before anyone gets hurt, but she misses the target, hitting everyone. The pulse causes Gecko's car to swerve, and Max and Sonia's car crashes into the roadside. Max becomes angry and scolds Fox. Sonia panics and gets out of the car. Just then, Igor arrives disguised as a police officer, and Max and Sonia are on the run. He captures Sonia and takes her away. Alex quickly goes to Fox, as the pulse has severely damaged Fox. Fox realizes that Alex is the one who created it, and tells Alex that they must now rescue Max. Fox explains that the small device he gave him earlier can be used to find Max. Meanwhile, Gecko decides to go ahead alone. At Myron's base, Max lies to Igor that Fox is currently in the hospital. Igor takes Max's device so he can hear Alex and Fox's rescue plan. Shortly after, Fox sneaks inside Myron's base. Outside, Igor captures Alex. Gecko sneaks inside and tries to free Max and Sonia. Just then, Igor arrives and orders the guards to capture Fox. Fox fights the guards using objects in the room. Even when more guards arrive, Fox defeats them all. Fox then frees Max and Sonia from captivity. At the same time, Alex. The criminals are locked in a room. Just when everyone thinks everything is settled, Myron arrives. Myron imprisons Fox inside a special machine or tube. Myron threatens to throw Sonia off the building if Alex doesn't reprogram Fox. Alex is forced to comply. They take Fox to the lab, and Myron reveals that he wants to gain power from the nano-robot. Gecko secretly records everything on his phone to keep evidence. Alex insists that the tube must be removed to control Fox. As soon as the tube is removed, Gecko breaks the machine's control panel with a fire extinguisher, causing damage to the lab and freeing Fox. Fox, with his lightning speed, captures all the criminals. Fox then goes to Max. Fox remembers that Max taught him to make his own decisions. Fox realizes that he isn't meant to work for a villain like Myron. Fox tells Max that he give him one last command, allowing him to kill himself. Fox explains that this is the only way to protect everyone. Fox says that no matter what, he will always be with Max. Max sadly gives the order, and Fox transforms into small nano-robots. Just then, Myron suddenly punches Gecko hard, knocking him unconscious. Myron orders Igor to call a helicopter. He grabs Sonia and runs to the roof of the building. Max, enraged, chases after Myron. Myron easily knocks Max down and tries to escape in the helicopter. Before fleeing, Myron pushes Sonia off the building. At that very moment, a shocking incident occurs. All the nano-robots fly and enter Max's body. Max hears Fox's voice in his mind, encouraging him to fight. Now, empowered by the nano-robots, Max runs towards Myron. Max kicks Myron very hard. A fierce fight ensues between the two. Max continuously attacks Myron. Then Max hears Sonia's scream. Hearing Sonia's voice, his attention is diverted from the fight. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Myron punches Max hard. But even after this, Max does not give up. Max blocks Myron's line of sight. He then knocks Myron to the ground. Myron, enraged, tries to throw a rock at Max. Max quickly dodges and kicks Myron in the face. Finally, Max knocks Myron unconscious with a powerful punch. After Myron is defeated, Max immediately runs to save Sonia. Max catches Sonia just in time before she falls. Later, when everything calms down, Myron is captured. Alex collects all the nanobots and puts them back in the cylinder. After all these events, Alex offers Gecko a job as a security officer in her lab. Sometime later, Max finds a letter at home with something written on it. He participates in a drawing competition and wins the competition because he draws the best picture. He is very happy with his victory. And to add to his happiness, his parents give him a new puppy, which is given in memory of his best friend. Max sees the new puppy and names it Foxy.